All right, so guys, here we are, hole 5, or hole 9, par 5, sorry. And this will be an interesting one. I wonder if they give us that tailwind, green light to the green. It's typically what they do for experts. It looks like they are for the most part. Now, what I'll typically do here is the big topper, but I only have a big topper 3 on this account. I don't even really want to mess with that because it just doesn't have nearly the range that I want. I'm giving up so many yards. But with a big topper 5, big topper 6, that's what I'll typically do, especially a 7. Until I get that Thor developed enough. So a Thor 6 or a Thor 7 is the point where you can finally go away from big topper, which is ideal. But what the big topper can do is it can get you up here farther. You can see what my opponent did. If I use the big topper, I'd get out farther than my opponent just did. But what I'm going to do in situations like this is we're just going to play the safe route. So we're just going to blast this up here. This is kind of the smallest wind possible, which is not ideal. I think we should sneak up there. So you typically go maybe 3 to 4 rings here on this wind. So we should be able to get up to this fairway. However, we're not going to have the topspin to get near the roll out that we want. However, we should be into short iron territory, so that's what we're going to focus on. However, guys with max bags are going to have cakewalk of a hole. With this wind, it's actually, you know what? This is actually a little bit more of a challenging wind because what happens is the wind effect, a lot of guys are going to wind up over here to the right or short because this is actually a tough wind to try to counter that wind. Because typically what you'll see is you need to land to the right into the opening. So here's kind of the catch of this shot. So looking back here, let me just size this up real quick. I just want to know ahead of time what I'm getting myself into. Mid-club, okay? So typically you need to hit over here on this open area. Well, landing here to get up to the hole, Thor doesn't have enough curl with this wind. So it wouldn't have enough curl, so you almost have to land a little bit more left of that, which makes the shot just a little bit tougher. Because you're not going to roll out if you don't get up into that wide, if you don't get into where it's the longest. So it won't roll out to the hole. But you don't have enough curl to do it that way, so it's very tough. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm almost going to play max distance, which is about 5 rings here, because I'm going extra for wind effect, essentially. So even though I'm at mid-club, and even that was just a little bit too much, so 5-ish rings, I was kind of rushing that. I could have just timed out and did it on the next shot, but you could see right around 5-ish rings for a 9, and you can see how it worked out. So, just kind of honing in and getting to the same spot each and every time. It's going to give you an idea of what you're going to need to do. For a ring adjustment. Keep in mind, you have to do an over adjustment there. You have to use overcorrection. So that's why I'm using a max value. You can see when I sized it up, I was very close to mid-club, but I actually used much more towards max, which is 1.9-ish per ring. And the reason for such an extreme overplay, instead of going 3 per ring, I went 1.9 per ring, which is significantly different. It's the difference between 3 or 5 rings. And so the reason that I'm going an extra ring and a half, 2 rings, is because of the fact that there's wind effect that's going to be pushing the ball at a very high, faster rate. So with that in mind, you need to go some sort of overcorrection. That's what I do with those short iron. So, if you do have a weaker bag, hopefully you can just hone in on that adjustment. Good luck with that. Good luck with your rounds. If you do want to see a little bit more advanced shooting, I'm going to go run through with a more advanced bag. I think advanced bags are going to have a distinct advantage in this course. So if you do have the later clubs, it's going to be definitely a little bit more favorable conditions. So good luck out there. I'll see you guys next time.